pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we have to announce this because both the FBI and the NSA are listening this morning, so be careful what you say.
They won't have him on tape.
That's okay. The TV's gonna be all blurry anyways from the glare coming out of it.
Oh.
Yeah, can we put the camera there and just conduct our meetings from this side?
Yeah, right. Look at the back of your head.
See, I've already incriminated myself.
Well, this has been I'll digress for 2 seconds. This has been an interesting couple of months as we've tried to get this all wired, working, and so on. And it sounds rather simple, but you discover that one thing may not be compatible with something else. A speaker may not work with a microphone, and this camera may not work with that. And of course, there's the software that all has to be compatible with everything else we've got around here. We now have computers in the drawers over there that operate all this system for us. We now have opportunity to play DVDs throughout the building. We've already had several meetings in here now that have been looking at DVDs they provided, or sticks, that kind of stuff. So it's been an expensive process, but at the end of the day, we'll have the capacity for example, if Michelle is in Florida vacationing, because she does that so much, we'll be able to Skype with her on LDC side, and she'll be able to participate in the meetings face to face. So.
Yeah, and it's my understanding that this room is being used more and more by the community, which is
Yeah, we have
a
a
good thing.
public hearing scheduled next week, and as usual we have a conflict, but now we have 2 rooms. One will work when the other one is busy, and we see that a lot, so that's good. And we're inviting more and more people. Folks from Antico and other consultants that we've been working with on this microgrid technology have been using our back office here for their office, and that's worked out exceedingly well as well. So the design you guys put together is working well. Sorry, didn't get off on that.
Oh, no, hey, gotta commend the building committee for your foresight in doing it. Opening the Jefferson County Local Development Corporation meeting. Everyone, privilege of the floor. Ted, nothing today? Everyone received minutes from the March meeting. Is there any additions and or corrections?
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, thank you. Treasurer's report,
You're getting it.
page 11.
Page 11. We're starting out here, you can see, we started out with the income statement. Well, let's go right to April. We got March's in here, but we do have the previous month when we're looking at revenues, and we're looking at the April, so that will actually cover the March statement too. So that is on page 23, I think.
Yes.
Okay, good. Here you can see in the month of March, which would have been the previous month, we didn't have a whole lot, well, actually the 2 months are almost identical, March and April for our revenues. $108,000. Revenues year to date are $760,000, which is about right on for a 7-month period, because the 7 months ended April 29th. But most of our income in the LDC is regular monthly income coming in for most of the town. And you can see our expenses are, again, if you're going all the way down, well, actually, we're doing better than the budget at 441,000 year-to-date, versus $1,261,000 for our budget, so we're way under budget as far as our expenses are concerned. And I didn't see anything that was, out of ordinary or anything like that in there. So you go on down to the next page and you can see our revenue, year-to-date revenue over expenses is $319,000, which is obviously well above our projections, are well above our budget, and that again is because our expenses are considerably under budget. And then Lyle breaks out our expenses for by program, and you can see for the ag, we are spending more than budget, but we knew we were because of our the salaries, overhead, and so on. For that is more than we get from our grant or monies from the county. Year to date, that's $93,000. You can see the various things we spend it on. The biggest obviously is the salary, overhead, but nothing out of ordinary there. Next one is our marketing expense, and we are about right on budget if we're looking at as a percentage of budget. So many things come in lump sums throughout the year, but you can see here we spent just about 140 out of 262,000, which should be about right for 7 months of the year. And then we haven't spent much at all in manufacturing. Got some things coming up I would expect on that, so we will be spending it in the next 5 months. Balance sheet, you can see we have quite a bit of money, cash. We got in general checking just under 70,000. We got a little over $2 million in our savings account, and then for the revolving loan fund, we got 746,000 in there that we set aside for loans. We got our loans receivable, obviously the biggest thing in there, and the CDBG loan receivable. So our total assets are $4.6 million. We don't have anything much in liabilities at all, so our total capital is $4.5 million. And then age receivables basically are loans that we have outstanding. Cash receipts, I review the cash receipts, cash disbursements. We know how much for payables. The check registers, the cash disbursements, and I didn't find anything out of line in any of those. And that's it. Treasurer's report. We're in good shape right now.
I entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Any questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Committee reports? No committee reports, or? We have a resolution to consider to accept money from Jefferson County Industrial Development Agency. And it's whereas a request to accept $10,500 from Jefferson County Industrial Development Agency to increase the marketing budget. And whereas $10,500 be used to support a television and digital campaign to drive traffic to the new website. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Directors of Jefferson County Local Development Corporation that it herein approves the request to be further, and be it further resolved, the chairman, vice chairman sign. You want to talk about this, Marshall?
As I mentioned in the last meeting, I guess we're just pushing the resolution through at this point, but
Questions?
So this spending is above and beyond what we have in the marketing budget.
Yes.
So I see we have the 12,000 set aside for the website and all that, but
Yep.
we'll be spending that on that, okay.
So to get your money's worth, you've already established your perimeters.
Mhm.
The goal is traffic to the website.
Yep.
And you set your perimeters of how that's going to or proceed over a 12-month period, or?
Well, there's two fronts. The bulk of this ad on the budget is for the television commercial. And they won't specifically, at least from a tracking standpoint, be able to I won't be able to track how that's driving traffic to the website versus the digital campaign. Like, for instance, we did print in NY Business. Well, we're going to do print in the Watertown Daily Times regular website because then we'll be able to click through rates and all that kind of stuff. But as far as like hits and all that kind of stuff, which is really kind of what is going to be the basis of our marketing efforts, moving forward. Yeah, that will all be tracked through Google Analytics on the new website.
So how do you attribute success to the TV advertising at the end of the period?
Well, the TV advertising really is about increasing the pipeline for different things that programs we offer. I would contribute success to the TV ad campaign through loans and things like that.
Direct inquiries back here.
Direct inquiries.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so that's the criteria.
Yep. I'm sorry if I was a little confusing there.
There
It's
is,
harder to track those than it is some of the digital stuff we do, when you actually can kind of get
Right.
click-through rates to see what converted from,
Right.
and then you see how much time they actually spent on certain portions of the website or which page of the website they sent.
having spent 30 years at it, there's an old adage in advertising, which is 90% of my advertising budget is wasted. I just don't know which 90%.
That's fine. I'm trying to learn something here as it relates to maybe what I want to do. Yeah.
It's really, really difficult to track, but what we're doing is, at the end of the day, we're creating an appetite for activities that this agency does, so that the community has a sense of what we're up to and why we're trying to do it, why it's important for them to support us. And you might also, if you don't mind 1 second, Mr. Chairman, update them where we are on the actual website.
Sure. I was expecting the website to be live today. They had a little bit of a shake-up at Atlas Advertising, who's our vendor, and they're not. Possibly tomorrow, but more likely Monday or Tuesday, we'll be live and ready to go. I was very disappointed that it wasn't going to be live for this meeting. We don't want it to obviously show everyone, but it's coming along. We have a little situation with getting the GIS that we get through Shovel Ready, National Grid's GIS program for our properties. Getting that integrated with a new site is a little bit more complicated than we had thought. I won't bore you with the details, but there's some other like little, housekeeping issues. Like, there's so many passwords and DNS servers and all of this kind of stuff that last minute kind of things. Yeah, content's on there and it's ready to go. And for the most part, getting this GIS situation under control, which is not a big deal. As I mentioned, Monday, Tuesday at the latest.
It just occurred to me that if you only had one, at the end of the year, if we had one inquiry from the TV advertising that was successful, it would more than justify the campaign.
Absolutely.
Just one, pull in one.
This is something, we've been doing TV in the Syracuse market. As a little side note, through Time Warner, we've done a number of banner ads, and we're gonna also be, pushing those. Those have been kind of focused on the Syracuse area. Now we're gonna do some in Buffalo, as well as some in, which Buffalo makes sense because of the border crossing, and then, and some in Albany area as well. We're kind of broadening our at no increased cost. We're just kind of, we're taking some of those ad placements and putting them into other markets.
The sense of it is, as an example, one of the reasons the car dealers advertise incessantly and repeatedly is that not everybody's buying a car at any given period in their life. However, when they do, they want to have an image in somebody's mind that I ought to go to X dealership because it's a better deal, or whatever the image is. So sometimes the advertising that we do paints this image in the hopes that at some point, when one of our local companies, or who knows, decides to expand in the market or whatever, they will think of us as a go-to place. That's what we're trying to accomplish.
On the resolution, I'd entertain a motion in a second.
So,
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, aye? Opposed? Resolution carries. Anything else for the LDC?
Well, I'm just pleased to say that we have several projects in the pipeline now. I think I expressed a couple of months ago to you that I was concerned that we didn't have, in my view, enough in the pipeline to make me feel comfortable. Well, the last 2 months have been, we've been extremely active. There's a lot of interesting things going on, most of which we yet can't reveal, but at some point in time you'll be hearing about them. And if a third of them come to fruition, we'll have a good series of activities for the community. So a lot of work's going on, and I salute David and Marshall and Jay, and frankly, Peg and Joy as well, for the kind of effort that's been going on here. They've been literally meeting from early morning till late night here trying to get some of this stuff done. As with all of these, it's hard to say, but the good news is we're moving in the right direction. So that's on the LDC side. We have an IDA side, which we'll talk a little more about too.
We have a couple committee vacancies, and this goes right across both corporations. I believe we have one in the nominating committee and one in the auditing. Is that correct, Peggy?
Audit and finance.
Auditing and finance. And I was hoping that somebody
Raise their hand.
would raise their hand.
Raise my hand.
You're already there.
That's no fair.
Okay. You wanna do the audit and finance?
yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Dan, you wanna help out with the nominating? It's, I think,
Meets once a year.
Yeah, you could do it.
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine.
okay.
And we also need a board rep of the manufacturing council.
Right, because Urban played that role.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Manufacturing council.
Oh, yeah,
Put you right to work, John.
I like the way you handled that after he volunteered for the other one.
You just left it between the table.
You could see he's one of the new guys.
Very good.
Appreciate that.
That's what you call
Finance,
a
not
twofer.
on
Twofer.
a couple times
Yeah,
this
the
week,
finance,
so-
yeah. Yeah, just
If you can, John, we have a manufacturing council meeting Monday at 11:30.
well, see,
We provide lunch,
and if he can't make it up here, he can always Skype in from his office.
right?
Right.
You said Monday, Dave?
Yeah, Monday,
What time?
11:30 here. I'll send you a note.
I think you'll find that interesting, John. I really do.
Try to
Meet
beat
some
that.
interesting people. Yeah.
There's some good things. We gotta start spending money. We haven't done much.
Yeah, well, we ended up using a couple of workshops we did. We ended up, didn't cost us for facility usage, so we haven't had any room fees or anything, so.
Trust me, Michelle, we'll spend money,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
in spite of our.
I mean, the money we have been,
That's kind of-
money
that's-
we have been spending has been reimbursable under the HAB, the Hazard Abatement Board for the safety training. That's been going through.
Motion to adjourn the LDC meeting.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you.